Let's walk through how to create A103, the floor plan drawing for your architectural drawings of the affordable housing design project you've created. We're going to go ahead and move down to A103 in the sheets. And I'm going to scroll back up and we're going to drag the level 1 floor plan over and we're going to click to place it on the sheet. One thing you'll notice is that this view is very large. We're going to make some changes to the visibility on some items. And we're going to go ahead and double click to activate the view. And you can go to the visibility graphics. I'm going to go ahead and select edit. And I'm going to go to the annotation categories. Press the E key to find the elevations and uncheck them and hit apply. And I'm just going to go ahead and select OK. Now at this point, I'm going to go ahead and deactivate the view by double left clicking. And here is where the view label, let's go ahead and bring it up into the sheet. And I can go ahead and kind of resize and replace the view label. Now, the way this kind of design works is that if I probably rotate it, it would look a little bit better on the page and fill a lot more. So I'm actually going to select it. I'm going to change the view scale to 1/4 inch equals a foot. And then while I'm here, I'm going to go ahead and go to rotation on sheet and click the drop down and choose 90 degrees clockwise. So yours could be turned counterclockwise, but I'm going to kind of fill the page. I can also kind of lengthen this view label. So there's kind of what we're looking for in terms of a floor plan. I'm going to leave a little bit of room around the outside edges because we're going to need to do some dimensioning. But another thing that we can do is I'm going to activate the view and I want to hide some things on this floor plan. I'm going to kind of drag this over to the side. And we want to hide some categories that we don't really need. Things that like would be able to take out of the house. So like things like furniture. So I'm going to press the F key. Floors I usually turn off just because of the patterns. Sometimes that can get a little bit troublesome. So I'm going to hit apply. Some of the things like the cabinets or like the plumbing fixtures, things that are not going to be like those kind of stay in the house. They don't really move around that much. That's going to be some of the stuff we'll leave in here. I've got a washer and dryer. That's a mechanical equipment category. I'm going to hit apply just to get rid of those. Really, that looks pretty good. You know, like as long as you have some stuff cleared out and you got some room to work with. I'm going to hit OK. If you're ever wondering like what kind of category of something that you're looking to hide, if you select it and it'll tell you right here in the properties what category it belongs to. If you do want to hide some stuff too individually, you can always right click and say hide in view elements and do some of those things. While we're here, I'm going to go ahead and annotate. There's a couple things that we need to do. Number one, in like the bathrooms and the kitchen, we're going to annotate the 5-foot diameter turnaround spaces. So I'm actually going to go ahead and select detail line. We're going to choose a circle. We're going to change this to just a hidden line line style. And I'm going to go ahead and draw inside of the kitchen here. I'm going to click and I want to go ahead and represent. This is going to show for a 5-foot diameter, we're going to do 2'6". You can also type 2 space 6 and hit enter, and that'll do the same thing. So this right here is going to give us a spot, and depending upon where you want it to be placed, but here in my kitchen, I'm just going to kind of note for wheelchair access, I've got a 5-foot diameter turnaround space. So in this scenario, I'm going to go ahead and go to the text tool. Go ahead and I'm going to draw the text box in, and I'm going to go ahead and change. We'll type this out. I'll do 60-inch diameter turn space. So at this size, notice I'm at a 1/2 inch aerial scale. So I'm going to go ahead and hit close on this. I'm going to hit cancel a couple times to stop drawing the text. I'm going to select this text and I'm going to change that down to 3/32 aerial. And that's going to fit a lot better. I'm also going to rotate it around. So then that way that I can go ahead and fit that inside of my circle there. And I know that that is my turn space for that particular scenario. If I wish to copy, might be worth kind of doing so. So I can always kind of say, you know, I can right click on anything and, but actually I'm going to go ahead and go up here to the copy command. And then it's kind of saying, where do I want to start from? I'll click from the center and then I can kind of place my circle over here in the bathroom. So I don't think I have all of my items kind of placed in there yet, but we can kind of note that this is going to be a full bathroom that'll have, that kind of thing. I'm going to go ahead and select the text, copy, choose where I want to copy from, and I can just paste that in there too. Cancel a couple times, and there we go. So that right there will note our universal design features. And then all I'm going to do to kind of finish this up is I'm going to go up to the annotate tab, and either I can choose the align dimension tool from here, or I can choose it from the quick access toolbar. I'm going to make sure to change the preference to wall faces, and then I'm just going to go along like the north wall here, or at least the one that it's kind of now. It may not be my north wall. I believe it's more my west, but I'm going to go ahead and follow, and I'm going to go from the face of a wall to the center of every opening. You'll see the two windows. I'm going to go from this wall to the center of the door to this wall, and then from this little section here, and I'm actually going to place this with the other ones up above so they don't run into each other. And I'm just going to continue to go around my perimeter, and again finding the center of every window or door and dimensioning to it. With doing the dimensioning on this particular activated view, we can kind of see where we can place them without running into each other. And also where we can not run outside of the sheet. All right, there gets a lot of my exterior. I'm going to do one more here, just do the overall kind of length there. And then the same thing, I think I'll put this above. I'll go right here. The only other thing we have left is we need to dimension some of the rooms sizes. So I'm just going to go around and go ahead and measure some of these spots. If I need to zoom in to make a selection, I can do that. I'm going to place the width of the closet here. And this would be like the depth of the closet. Now, in some cases, like this is going to be kind of hard to read. So I'm going to cancel the dimension tool, and then I'm going to select this dimension. And if I select on the line, there's a blue dot here. I can actually kind of place, this like this. So then that way it can kind of tell like, oh, all right, this is the depth, and then this is the measurement that it belongs to. So I'm just going to continue to go around and do the exact same thing in some of the other rooms. That's really kind of what's the purpose of being able to dimension some of these things. And I'm going to just kind of look room by room and start adding in some of those dimensions and having some of those details being communicated into the design. So again, if you need to make some changes on the on some of the details like that, then you can go ahead and you can do that just like that. If you have any sort of like text, you can notice that you can always kind of make some changes or anything of that nature. But this right here, if I double click to deactivate, you would just want to make sure that you get all of your dimensions placed, reset your view label, and this should finish up the fully dimensioned floor plan for A103.